Welcome back to the Selfish Year series. This is a weekly series where I do a deep dive into one of the principles in my book, The Selfish Year. And this week, I want to talk to you about one of the concepts I talk about that is really integral to you understanding who you really are, to your healing, to your ability to feel the way you want, to heal, to grow, to become the woman you need to be to have everything you want. And that is this concept of first girl. So, first girl is what I call your inner child, but it's a part of your inner child that existed before the world told you who you were meant to be. So, we come into this world as pure love. If you look at a baby, they're just love, right? They ask for what they want. They're not worried about what people think. They're not giving you anything. They're just asking, right? They're receiving. And you were that baby at one point. And whether you have good memories of any part of your childhood or not, First Girl represents this part of you that did exist before the world came in and said, you're not worthy, you're not valuable. And a lot of women can remember or see pictures of them as first girl. I have a picture that I used when I was doing this work. And, it's this black and white picture of me. I'm about 5 years old and I'm like skipping down the road and, like I'm just like feeling myself. And it's that part of me that was just connected to creativity and play. And I wasn't thinking about what anyone thought of me. And I was just fully connected to myself, right? The creative side, the inspired side, the happy part, the happy version of me. And that's your first girl. So it's really important to connect to her because she has been exiled. And here's why. Look, you might not be able to remember happy memories of your childhood. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Honestly, it doesn't matter because whether you remember it or not, your soul came into this planet pure love. And then the world taught you fear. So that pure love part of you is what I call first girl. And she was just pure energy, love, openness, curiosity, excitement, creativity. But something happened along the way. Something happened along the road of life. A lot of things happened along the road of life that started telling you that you were too much or not enough, or you needed to be good or polite, or good girls don't do this, right? You perhaps got a lot of messages that told you you had to be a smaller version of yourself. And as a child, love and acceptance means survival. Love and acceptance from those who are our caregivers or in authority is survival because the tribal human needed a tribe in order to survive. If you were exiled from your tribe back then, that pretty much was your death warrant. You weren't going to survive. And so our brains, our primal minds, are wired to survival. And as a kid, as a child, survival means acceptance into the tribe. So when you get those messages that part of you is not being loved or accepted, we are very good at shutting that part down because we know on a subconscious level that that part can't come with us. And so we take that first girl, that part of us that was the wild, free, exuberant, full version of yourself. We take that first girl and we put her in a closet and we put duct tape over her mouth because she cannot come along on the journey of life with us because it isn't safe. And we transition into a different part of us, which I'm going to talk about in the next video. But the first girl got shoved in a closet because she wasn't acceptable to come on the journey of life. And we got really good at living without her and just doing what needed to be done in order to survive, in order to cope. But now you're the woman, and the woman is struggling. You're struggling with a lot of things, maybe people pleasing, guilt, doubt, shame, fear, anxiety, control, perfectionism. Maybe your relationships are breaking down. Maybe your health is breaking down. Maybe your finances aren't what they need to be. There might be a lot of symptoms in your life that your life is starting to break down or isn't working the way that it was, or it's not working the way you want. And your first girl has a lot to do with that because without her being a part of your life now, you aren't able to connect to the part of you that is pure love. And so you've built your life on fear. And because of that, your life is starting to break down because you were never meant to build a life from fear. So in the book, I get into this concept, right? But what I want you to understand today is number one, your first girl is still there. She's still in the closet and she is waiting for you to rescue her. Essentially, we have to go on a rescue mission. We have to find her. We have to get her out of the closet, take the duct tape off her mouth, and give her a seat at the table of your life and start to allow her to feel safe enough to show up, to have a voice, and to be a full participant in your life. And when that happens, something magical occurs. And that magical thing that occurs is this: you start to feel alive again. You start to feel inspired again. You start to have creative ideas and inspiration. You start to have visions and dreams again. You start to feel happiness. Your sense of play comes back online. And the parts of you that are actually the most compelling, interesting, and alive parts of you come back into your life. And if you have ever sat there and thought about, who am I now? Like, who the hell am I? Is there anybody home in there? I feel like I'm a walking head, or I'm just like going through the motions in my life. I don't know who I am. If you've ever said that to yourself, this is a big reason why. And when you get first girl and you bring her home and you give her a safe home in your heart, all of this starts to wake up, and it's the most magical and exciting thing you will ever experience. So, that is a huge part of the work that I do, and it is a huge part of my book. So, if you haven't got my book yet, make sure you go grab your copy of The Selfish Year. It is available everywhere that you can get your books. You can also get it in the show notes. I will put a link there. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Have you thought about this idea of your first girl? Do you have memories of her? And if not, can you connect to the idea that she is still there, that that part of you that is pure love is still inside of you? She just needs you to go back and get her. And what do you think might be possible if you did that and she had a home, a safe home in you to fully come out and be a participant in your life and have a voice again? Let me know what you think. And I'll see you next week for the next video in the Selfish Year series. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel and share it with a woman who needs this in her life. Mwah. Love you.